Hey, what is going on with Twitter and everybody talking about this Chris Brown and Michael Jackson thing? Like, was it Joe Budden
Oh,
that
I
brought it
just
up again? Chris Brown, they're saying Chris Brown is more talented than the greatest artist of all time, Michael Jackson. Now, the wording, more talented,
right.
more talented than Michael Jackson. Devon, what say you? How do you
Uh,
feel?
I think people just. I'm coming to grips with the fact that one, I'm old, so I saw Michael Jackson. I saw him when he was alive.
Yeah,
Like, and people don't really understand where it's like, yo, there were no cell phones, there was no TikTok, there was no Twitter, there was Fox, ABC, CBS, NBC, and I'll be
Fox
real
was
with you.
new.
There
Fox
might not
was
have even been
new.
Fox. Fox was like brand new.
Yeah,
We was like, dog, what
yeah.
are we
Fox
doing?
was
Like,
mad new.
they got a station
That's
that plays.
crazy.
Yeah, they got a station that play hockey sometimes, and you're like, all right, Fox. So Michael Jackson used to shut down those stations when he released a video. Like, I think a lot of people, when they do the comparisons of Michael Jackson, because you'll even hear it with The Weeknd. I think The Weeknd has a fantastic voice. I
Yeah,
think
Right.
Michael Jackson
The Weeknd
Jr.
makes fantastic music.
Yeah.
He is one portion of what Michael Jackson was doing.
Yeah.
Man, not even close. Come on.
Yeah, that's really what it is. I mean,
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I dressed up
tiny
as Michael
portion.
Jackson twice for Halloween
What?
when I was a
That's right.
kid. When I was a
Really?
kid, I was like 4 and 5. No bullshit. I used to watch a VHS tape like every day repeatedly by Michael
That's
Jackson.
funny because you much younger than us, and you like, no,
Yeah.
Michael the guy. So
People
like,
forget
Yeah, for
the
sure. Nah, yeah,
influence.
it was
Like,
wild, bro.
people
Yeah.
honestly forget the influence.
Chris
of
Brown
Michael
too, though. I ain't not as much as Michael Jackson at all. But Chris Brown, like, man, when he hit, I remember I was like in, I think like 6th grade maybe, and when Chris Brown hit, it was like over with.
Run
You
It
know
was
what I
the
mean?
shit. This is the
Right.
argument though. The argument was more talented. No one said better. It was because Michael Jackson can sing, write, dance. That's what we know him for. But
Yeah.
Chris Brown can sing, write, dance. He's a gymnast. He's a fighter. He's a painter. He produces. He's an actor. He does all. Now Michael Jackson did act.
Exactly.
We all saw his movies.
Look. I'm gonna stop a lot of people there because one, we don't know all the stuff Michael Jackson did. Two, nowadays, because we're like much more involved in people's lives.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm sure Chris Brown paints, but to call Chris Brown a painter is a little bit of a reach. Like, I know Michael Jackson painted something at one point, but I'm not gonna call that man a painter.
Have you seen Chris Brown's paintings?
No, I haven't.
All right.
He's a painter?
Yeah,
he can be like an artist in a way.
Yeah, he can. Okay, he does more things.
Now here's the other thing too.
On a higher level.
But here's the other thing about art, and I'm just gonna push back on the painting.
Subjective. Is that what you're going?
Would we know about Chris Brown the painter were it not for Chris Brown the musical artist?
No, we wouldn't. But the fact is that we do know about it. And that's why people are bringing all this to light. But I can tell you one thing.
There are people that call people an actor, and they be like, "Look, I love Beyonce.
Chris Brown was in this
Beyonce. I think Beyonce is the only person you can really compare to Michael Jackson, at least at this point. But Beyonce,
that's crazy.
And I'll compare Beyonce to Michael Jackson, and they also have the same flaw: their acting ability. Like I love both of them. But I was like, that I'm not necessarily going to Beyonce or Mike Jackson for their acting. Although I watched, what was that, Moonwalker?
Cadillac Records was crazy with
Cadillac
Beyonce.
Records.
Oh, but that's the thing. They have one good thing. I told people I watched that movie back and forth on VHS tape, rewinded it over and over again. I was like, that it is what it is.
When Chris Brown and Takers?
Huh?
When Chris Brown and Takers?
Chris Brown.
And this Christmas, he fucked this.
He was in that. Oh yeah. First off, this Christmas is hands down like top tier Chris Brown acting. Like,
yeah,
I like Takers too, but that was just a nice, real well done Tanqueray commercial, and I love it. But I was like, as soon as I walked out that joint, I was like, dog, I need to get like a well fitting suit and some Tanqueray.
I was like, Paul Walker. I was like, damn, they just Paul Walker. God rest Paul Walker's soul, but he must have had a deal with some studios that was like, nigga, you're gonna have to do all these movies. Remember when he died, he had that one movie with Reza? I was like, yo. But I can tell you one thing about Chris Brown and one thing about Michael Jackson that they both have in common, that they are both very handsome, light-skinned gentlemen, which means they're not black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Houston down to my socks. Oh no, it's them again. It's them boys from In My Humble Opinion. It's me, it's Avery. Avery, like a very nice guy, one of your hosts of In My Humble Opinion, there with my brother. What's your name, brother?
I'm just
Doeman DYNA.
No, you revealed it. You revealed it. Nah, we already talked, but it's all good. We all right. I'm the host. I'm the look, if y'all heard it, I'm still letting my brother go through the intro because y'all do need to hear about this artist, and I like to throw out the artist now because in like a year, in 2 years, everybody go, oh yeah, I was on it.
Yeah, I was on him.
I was always listening to this dude. I'm telling you, dog, the man is impeccable. So I'll let
he's returned. We used to do the live format, which we'll get back to. It was one of our early guests. He's returning triumphantly. I mean, he has great music. The last time we talked, we're not going to go over everything. We talked about a lot of things. Like one of the things I really liked, it's just a tiny thing that he said that he liked was like, oh, Big Pun. I was a huge Big Pun fan. So then just listening to his flow and things of that nature. I mean, he thinks GT Garza doesn't get enough respect. I agree with this gentleman here, but you know exactly who he is because he said his name, all right? Our next guest has been on here before, a long time ago before the vid was even a thing that we were concerned about. We spoke about his influences and the rise to recognition in his H-Town music scene. From being featured in the Houston Chronicle, aka thecron.com, Dirty Glove Bastard. He's been on the Donnie Houston podcast, the Jedediah podcast, which I'm a fan of too. I liked your interview on Jedediah. Also being featured on the Vibes website for his standout South by Southwest performance for the Vibes Next Showcase. He's not next, he's on. And performing and rolling loud, ladies and gentlemen. Rolling loud. Everybody trying to be down with Doeman. Humbly yours, Doeman DYNA, the Barrio God, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, I appreciate y'all. Hey, y'all got me on that other screen? I can't see. I can only see the big screen.
We got you.
Cool.
Got you.
Cool. I dropped the motherfucker real quick. Man, I appreciate that, bro. I dropped that motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie.
We saw, but we weren't. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to gloss over.
I was trying to get it together.
Nah. You good. Y'all, man. You good, man.
So this is gonna be the screen I'm gonna have right. This is the screen of me right here.
That's right. That's right. You know what? I mean, since we already had started it out, and we've gone back over like your past and your history, and we'll direct people back to that initial interview as well as those Donnie interviews and some of the other podcasts you've done. Let's start off big. Like, talk about Rolling Loud.
For sure.
Rolling Loud. How did that come together, and what was it like performing on that stage?
Man, we're Rolling Loud. I mean, we were at South by Southwest. My manager, Beehive, so he's like the dude over the hip hop at South by Southwest, and he was helping them coordinate the show. So basically, man, we had like a show that day, and they ended up having like an artist that came up missing or something like that, like an artist that wasn't showing up. So Beehive was like, "Well, shit, if y'all need an artist, like I know an artist that's dope." He didn't even tell him like he managed me or nothing. You know what I mean? It was just like, you know, if y'all need somebody, and then I think we made a big impression on them because we were in Texas, you know what I mean? So we came in like probably like 30, 40 deep, and all my homies were in the front, and we performed. It was turned up. It was a dope look. And man, I forget bro's name. He's like one of the main dudes at Rolling Loud. He's an Asian cat, man, cool as hell. And he came up to me and he just showed me hella love. And I just saw him at Rolling Loud South by Southwest this past year, and he just showed me a crazy amount of love still. So from there, they were like, man, we're going to book them. And we thought they were just bullshit, and I ain't going to lie. And then from there, we got booked, you know what I mean, twice. So shout out to Rolling Loud, bro. That's like one of the best festivals I've been a part of, and I give them their kudos every time, man. amazing the way they treat the artists, the way they make you feel. It's a beautiful thing.
How many people were you performing in front of at Rolling Loud? Ballpark.
Which one? City Field?
Both times.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. LA was like next to nobody. Like maybe like 1,000. You know what I mean? Well, it looked empty because we was on early. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
the New York was a lot better though. I couldn't give you a number, but it was a lot. Like it was live though. I brought my boy Hoodlum out.
That's real.
Yeah. New York was City Field was crazy. I mean, LA was crazy, but New York was like we had you know what I mean? We got to really perform that time.
1,000 people still at Rolling Loud is still an accomplishment. I performed in front of nobody. So
I have too, bro. Oh, trust me. That's what I tell people all the time, bro. I've had shows with 3 people. You know what I mean? My brother, my aunt, my uncle. You know what I mean? So like anybody, and I always tell my team though, whether it's 1 or 1 million, we're gonna give them the same show, the same performance. You know what I mean? The same effort.
And you do. You keep that good energy up. That is one thing about your performances, because as cool as you are talking to you, when you are on stage, you're a totally different person.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's just like that. Not alter. I want to say alter ego, but it's just like people come there for a show, and then you see people in the crowd. For you, just you got to go crazy and give them 110% every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You should go see his shows because you're going to be entertained. He's not the dude that's going to stand up there and be like, "Do my job for me." So
yeah, straight up. Straight up. There's a lot of that going on.
It is a lot. It is a lot of that going on. What's it like now being able, I mean, the last time you were on our show, we caught you right after you did a show at Wonky Power. Which is it was a while. That's what we
I don't even remember. My memory's so bad, bro. I remember going on your show, but I don't even remember like what the hell was I doing at Wonky Power?
Honestly, I genuinely forgot what was happening at Wonky Power 2. Was it Les?
No, I think that was it was Les. What's that one?
Super Happy Funland when I did it with Les.
I thought it was one of the old girl shows.
It might have been put some south in your mouth. Amy.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
Amy.
Yeah, for sure. I fuck with
it. It was probably a bounce and turn. Yeah, that's probably what it was. Okay. So, what is it like? Also, like as we're watching you progress as an artist, and we're also watching fans start to gravitate towards you as well. What is that like? Going to shows and gradually watching it build, and starting out where you said like, if there's 3 people in the audience, I'm gonna perform. But going from like, these are empty shows. 1, what kept you going? And then 2, what's it like to start to see the beginnings of you reaping the benefits?
What keeps me going, I think, is just like when you got real passion, because I don't really, I don't do it for gratification from anybody or validation from anybody. So when you have like, raw passion for what you do and what you love, and you got to go back. I always tell myself, like, go back to the reason, like, why did you start it? Like anybody, whatever you do, why did you start it? And you start getting in that sense of doubt, and you start, your mind starts running. One of my homies gave me this quote the other day, and he was like, an overthinker. That's basically, overthinking. That's the devil's playground. You know what I mean? When you're overthinking, second guessing. So you're gonna do something, you better do it all the way. And to see it like grow, man, it's just it's like. You never know. Like, you you believe in it, and but when you start seeing things really unfold, you're like, damn, like, all them times, because like I said, bro, it's been ups and downs. It was like not every year. It was probably had some off years, like bad. And where I had to grow personally as a human being. You know what I mean? I was in this shit when I was not a kid, but a young man, where I didn't really know much about life or even myself to that point. You know what I mean? So to grow, it's just beautiful, the whole journey. Shit, you know what I mean? To see like the people who believed in me from the beginning, they getting proved right, and they're the only ones that matter. I really don't care about like doubters and nothing like that. And it feels amazing, bro. I mean, I'm just grateful for anything that I get. You know what I mean? Any blessing that lands on my lap, honestly.
Absolutely. Coming off of that last, I mean, you just had released an album as well. We rated it as one of the top albums of last year. What was Oh yeah. What was your overall reception or the reception to that album coming out? Like, how'd you feel about the release, and how'd you feel about the reception of the fans once they got it?
I feel like, man, honestly, I think it made the impact that it was supposed to make. You know what I mean? Like that was the whole point of the whole Brown Soul. Like, cause like you got like my grandpa raised me on oldies. You know what I mean? I was just saying this the other day. I'm probably gonna just move around, bro, because these kids loud as a motherfucker. I'm gonna move around. Hold on. Yeah. I think Brown Soul made like a super big, like a better impact than I thought, but I knew what it was gonna do. I wasn't trying to be like the most lyrical or you know what I mean, like most complex rapper. I just wanted to make some cool jamming shit. We sampled all the oldies, you know. Shout out to Big Tex Johnny. He's one of Hoodlum's like main producers. But nah, bro, I think that the fans like took it in well. I think it created like a whole wave in the city where like people are really, you know, especially like the Latino people. But it wasn't like, and that's the thing that I wanted to point out about it. Like Brown Soul wasn't just for Latino, it was for everybody. It was just Brown Soul, you know what I mean? Like something that I felt deep inside, you know what I mean? Because a lot of them samples, those are Black artists, you know what I mean? So I think that it was just a beautiful, but like the shit I got, you know, I'm the type of person where I drop some shit and I'm like, I don't give it enough time to breathe. And I think that's a mistake on my part. But like the next shit, like man, like all of the next shit, you know what I mean? But I think Brown Soul did his job. Like that was just like, okay, we're gonna set up, we're gonna give him something that sticks to the point, you know what I mean? It don't really go too far off topic. But yeah, man, Brown Soul is one of my favorite joints though. I ain't gonna lie, like I fuck with Brown Soul.
Yeah, we fuck with Brown Soul heavy. When did you I mean you mentioned his name. When did you first link up with Hoodlum?
Man, honestly, bro, with Hoodlum, bro, I met Hoodlum in like 2015 outside of a show in San Antonio. It was my boy Bamsworth Belly. He a dope ass artist. Y'all should tap in with him. He's one of the best rappers I know, bro. I ain't gonna lie. And Hoodlum's outside on the we're just outside, bro. I'm like one deep. I'm in a Rockets jersey in San Antonio. I think I was with like my girl at the time or something. And we just started chopping it up. I didn't even know he was a rapper. He didn't know I was a rapper. We just ended up being people. And from there, like watching, you know what I mean? We've been locked in ever since then. We always been cool, you know, and then we both just stayed at it. You know what I mean? I remember we did like our first festival together. We both did like Mala Luna together, you know, so that's how me and Hoodlum met though. Super solid people. That's my bro, like for real.
Yeah, you could tell. I mean, like I said, when we talked the other week, hey, put your hood up, bro. And now that you're mentioning, yeah, you got a lot of, you know, his main producer on you know on Brown Soul. I totally get it because you've always picked some really good beats, but those beats collectively as a project really was like a body of work that I would be like, I would always play for people to be like, oh, you need to hear Doeman. Like this is
that's crazy.
Yeah, this is one of the guys. Like you've been on from you know from Stunner to everything else, but like that, yeah, Brown Soul really just did it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we talked before. You and Hoodlum, I asked before, but I just want to ask now again on camera, what y'all gonna do in the future?
Man, we're trying to, man, that's like my bro. Like we gotta
20% goes out.
Have to do a tape. We for sure have to talk to him. Okay. And like I know one of our aims is doing the tape. We got records. Me and Hoodlum probably got like 4 records together, but man, I just be having to get like his sit his ass down and just record. You know what I mean? Hoodlum he just had a baby, so you know he's just kind of doing like he just had to like chill for a little bit. I mean, I know he's still working, but I think I dropped this tape, and I got a tape with my boy Khan. He's from LA, man. He's like he came up under like he came up under the like the you know what I mean, Aftermath family. He works at Studio One. Like he's riding on a yacht with Dre right now, like crazy, you know. But we for sure got a project. But me and Hoodlum, when we drop, like watch, the shit I got is my intro on Barrio God Volume 2. Me and him are the intro. We actually did that at Rolling Loud in New York. We did it right after.
Oh, that's real.
We left and we were like, man, let's go record. And because that's, you know what I mean? So yeah, for sure. That's, like I said, that's family though. So man, we definitely need to do an album. I don't even say a project or a mixtape, like an album. You know what I mean?
No, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Talk about the recent show you just had out here in Houston. That got a lot of heavy response from people
Which
like
one?
seeing it. With the tequila brand.
Oh, 1800. Oh yeah, nah, bro,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, like an agency reached out and they were like, "Yo, we got a tequila brand." You know what I mean? So that matches up perfectly. So we were like, "Yeah, let's do it." You know, and 1800 came through, man. They treated us good. They it was a beautiful event though, bro. Yeah, like Jay Mulan was there. Yeah, like it was a lot of people, man, in the city that just showed up, and
Mhm.
for the fact that it was a free event, it was crazy, bro. I loved it, man. I wish I could run that day back. You know what I mean? But that shit was fire, bro. I love working with like liquor companies and shit like that. You know what I mean? I love partnerships. That's what like a lot of artists need to, I think, more so focus on. You know what I mean? Than just trying to go get a quick loan. You know, but yeah, bro, 1800 definitely treated us good, bro. It was crazy, man. It was a dope night.
What you mean by quick loan?
Yeah, I like that you described that as quick loan
Yeah.
when you're talking about just signing with
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah, yeah.
Because you and Hobbs, watching the trajectory of your career, y'all focus heavily on parts. So it's like I know I'm gonna see y'all with somebody, and it's like it'll be like either a continued partnership or
Mhm.
just a one-off where it's like, yo, this is
Right.
us. We doing this real quick. Why are y'all going about it like that? And what are the like some of the benefits and the positives and the negatives of that?
I think just why, because shit, we want to be solidified in the sense of not just a rapper or artist. We want to be like a company too. You know, we want to be considered a company or a business. So when we get amongst these people like these corporate folks or whoever it is, we present ourselves in a way that is not like too, what I mean, too ugly, too left, or guns all in the video or you know what I mean. We try to keep it to a certain point to where it's clean. Like they still know what it is, and people can still feel the energy, but it's like we gonna grab them corporate checks. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I'm not trying to stay up in the hood. Like think about streams. I listen to Nipsey Hussle, is one of my favorite artists ever. You know what I mean? And Mailbox Money, he's like, we in business to make money. We're not in business to like put up numbers. So I just saw like it's like however many streams add up to this much money, and like that shit don't add up. You know what I mean? A million streams, how much money is that? We can go get that, grab that, and keep feeding the music. You know what I mean? And keep feeding the videos, and feeding ourselves. So I don't really see no cons to it, as long as you know that it's something that you really fuck with. You know what I mean? That's something I wouldn't go and do some shit that I really don't fuck with. You know what I mean? Like or it would be like false, fraudulent on my end. Everything I'm trying to do is be something I really like, something I really fuck with, or you know what I mean. And that's how the partnerships come about. But yeah, bro, you know what I mean. We just want to be respected in the corporate world as well as in the hip hop world or music. I'm trying to go into acting, all kind of shit after this. I ain't just trying to do.
Man.
I'm not trying to be one dimensional. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. How has been like as you've been trying to grow out the brand? Because it feels like y'all are trying to do just more than music. I hear you shout out like a lot of artists and things like that you like to work with.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys build up a brand, are y'all also building up a label? Are y'all building up other stuff around you? Because I always like the focus you have, not just on Houston artists, but also Hispanic Houston artists that
Yeah.
that are out here, and that's a big deal in making sure that they're get the correct type of exposure. So, what are your plans in
Mm-hmm.
that vein?
Man, I don't know, man. Honestly, like just for a label, I feel like one day, but right now I think the main focus is just Doeman. We just gotta make Doeman as big as he can be, so that way somebody, if I can kick down the door and everybody can just walk through, because I feel like that people have done it on a Latino scale. Like you got, the Pesos and D Baby, they're going crazy, but we do something completely different. You know what I mean? Like they do something different than I do. They do, and they're good at what they do. Obviously, you know what I mean. That's why they got the fans. That's why they. But what I'm doing is like I think it's different. Like I don't think the world has had like a Mexican American lyricist, real lyricist,
Uh-huh.
storyteller, and hip hop head. So I still got a mission I gotta complete before I start trying to before I can give 100% of my attention. Because if I did do that and sign an artist or start a label, I want to give that 100% of my attention When right now, like my music and the product of Doeman is like the 100% of all I have, on my mind right now.
Hmm. Now, can you talk about the new product you're working on? Can you talk about any of the new music that you're planning on putting out?
Oh yeah, we got Barrio God Volume 2 coming. Shit, that should be coming soon. I'm dropping the first single is gonna be City Back Winning with my bro Propane. We just shot the video for that yesterday. So man, we just lining it all out. But yeah, Barrio God Volume 2, I got crazy features on there. I got my shout out my boy Emilio Rojas on there. Who else I got on there? Lily Aviana's on a record.
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah, for sure. Man, who else is on Hoodlum? Man, I got a lot of features on there. GT Garza is on there. Man, we got a few features on there. You know what I mean? Indigo, she a singer, she dope. Yeah, she's on the outro. Yeah, so yeah, nah, bro. Just I like working with a range of artists, not just like people who I feel like are on or who could benefit me, but people who I feel like is actually dope, and we can create music together. But yeah, Barrio God Volume 2, that's gonna be. It's better than the first one. Like it's crazy. So I'm ready to drop it. We got a lot of production from Jay Cardenas. Man, Track Sounds got one on there. Rapper Rick got one on there. I wish I could name all the DJs. But yeah, bro, it's like an album, but it's gonna be it's a mixtape. But that shit came together like an album for sure. Man, it's crazy.
Now the other thing too is what's it like now to start getting the attention from people. I've seen you you got a shout out from Lotto time. You shout out Lotto in the song too, but it's also you're mentioning working with artists that are a producer that works with Dr. Dre, and
right.
So what is it like now getting those kind of getting noticed by people coming from outside of the city? There appears to be like a different feel that more artists and more brands and more things are noticing a lot of Houston artists. What is that feeling like coming about since you've been doing this for a while?
Man, it just honestly, it's just gratitude, bro. But it's also like, I saw Beat King, I think it was on Donnie Houston, and he was like, Houston will get you there. Shout out Donnie Houston, man. That's the homie for real. And he's like, Houston will get you there. Houston will get you kind of popping and buzzing. But once you stay here, you'll rot here. You know what I mean? Like there's very few people I feel like who stayed here and just, what I mean, have a real sustainable career. But then you got to get out because like there's people who don't know who we are out there in California, out there in New York. You know what I mean? But I just feel like even you can be with the biggest artists that can shout me out, but that don't mean that they're gonna change my life or my career. You know what I mean? You never know what can happen. You still got to work and control your own destiny. But it feels good just to get the acknowledgement for what I do. But as far as that go, I just know like I'm that person away. Like I feel like I'm one person away of two people away, and not like I'm trying to use anybody, but I'm just saying like, okay, this is possible. So to me, it just shows the possibilities that are in this shit. You know what I mean? For anybody who's working hard towards their shit. Yeah, to me, it just represents possibilities and what can be done. Outside of Houston, because you can sit here in Houston and you can't beg people to fuck with you, or you can get out there and people gonna fuck with you off the rip. You know what I mean? Because you're going hard and you really grinding. Taking them risks.
I mean, we interviewed it was Lil Kiki, and he said one of his mistakes was like he's like I stayed here, and he's like he goes I got a great career, I think it's fantastic and everything, but we were making so much money and the cost of living here is so low, and I was just having fun, and he's like I was young, I'm a young man, I'm out here doing stuff. But he's like, you never know where the career could have gone if I had have started taking opportunities outside the city. Like nobody's saying you got to leave permanently, but you could have visited. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. Nah, that's what I do in LA. That's what I do now, and that's crazy because I think like Lil Kiki's, like besides just being a SUC legend, he's an extreme talent. You know what I mean? And that's something that the world want to hear. There's something different. That's why why you think shit catches on or shit blows because it's different. You know what I mean? It's not the same recycled shit. So I feel like any Kiki, any one of them, the legends, they could have been a million times bigger. Man, Zero, you know what I mean? I feel like
Mhm.
Zero's one of the most talented fucking artists in the world. Like, even I really don't listen to rap music. Like, I do, but I don't, you know, I won't go digest the album. I listen to Rose last album, like, this fool rapping like, you know, he just got in the game, like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, like, I think about that now. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I spent like the beginning of the months in Houston. Usually I'm already on the road from January. And man, I'm like itching. Like, I'm like, man, I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. You know, not like in a bad way, but like, I'm ready to go work. To me, that represents work. You know, going meeting with people, trying to hit the radio stations. Whoever is popping, who got the podcast is going crazy. You know what I mean? I'm trying to just go tap in and push my product. But I'm waiting for this Barrio God Volume 2 drop, and I'm gonna go push the product. You know what I mean? And come back, we're gonna regroup and do it all over again. You know, and you know, I know Houston got my back, you know, and I'm grateful for that. But I know that if I just stay here, I'm not proving nothing to them, you know, because people clap for you, you know what I mean? But during the process of your shit, ain't nobody gives a fuck, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's my thing, you know, just proving, you know what I mean, putting points on the board right now. But yeah, for sure, man.
That's a huge thing. We talked to you, I mean, like I said, this a while ago. This was
Pre-COVID.
I guess pre-COVID.
Yeah.
For somebody like you, and like, yeah, you're always moving, always getting stuff. What was it like? First of all, what were you having to do during COVID to keep things moving? And how was that like? And then what was it like to finally be able to get out?
During COVID shit, man, I worked out a lot, you know what I mean? But as far as music goes, we were just, you know, no, we weren't really scrambling because, really what everybody thought, I think everybody made the big mistake that we're going to drop a bunch of music because people are at home, they're going to listen. But we did all our analytics, like people were going back to comfort music. You know, people weren't jamming new shit. Because think about it. And then people ain't going to work. People ain't at the gym. People ain't in their cars. You know what I mean? People ain't going for, you know, everybody's inside. So nobody's jamming new shit. So the streams, you know, everybody's shit went down, you know, weirdly. But we, like I'm saying, like we got like the biggest part. Like that was when we did the Genius shit with Lotto, with shout out Rob Markman, man. He's like a iconic journalist. He's a hip hop artist, but he's from New York. That's the homie, man. I call, you know, he called me on my birthday. I called him on his birthday. Like, he ended up throwing an alley-oop, man, the Genius. And they, you know, I guess they accepted us to do that record and had that interview with Lotto. That was like a spark, you know, because in 2020, I think, what was it? 2020, bro. I had like so many festivals lined up. We had like a tour lined up. Like we had a bunch of shit, man, that we were like, all right, it's falling in place. Like it's coming. And I'm pretty sure a lot of artists relate, but then 2020 hit, boom. And we were like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But that Genius sparked us, bro. That Genius, it gave us, you know, okay, let's keep going. You know what I mean? Because if that wouldn't have happened, man, it was rough. I feel like it was rough for a lot of artists, you know. Like I seen my homie Grip in Atlanta, and he was like, man, I seen him on an interview, and he was like, bro, I lost like however many thousands because I was supposed to go on tour, you know. So yeah, bro. But yeah, we just kept on. I kept on recording though. Shout out to Baron Studios. I was recording my ass off, you know. But yeah, so that's why we got all this music. I ain't gonna lie, I loaded up. I don't know how many unreleased records I got. I'm loaded though right now.
And it wasn't just, like I said, we would see you with like the Lotto and Genius thing, but it was also other than, I like the because I like you were honest about it. You did something with, it was like a regular De La Ghetto.
Yes.
Oh yeah, De La Ghetto.
Yeah. But I like that you were like, dog, I listen to rap. I didn't even know who he was. It took a while to find out this man is this man. So talk about that meeting and how that came together.
Man, that was a Jack Daniels thing, and they had reached out. So Remezcla, they're based out of New York. They're a magazine, and they had did an interview on me like in 2016, 17, like at South by Southwest. They're like, what does it mean to be a Latin hip hop artist? Like, oh, let me go a small little segment. But I don't think I was at the point where they should have been interviewing me then, honestly, you know. But I'm still grateful. And then so they reached out. They're like, hey, your name came up. Like, we're doing this. We're picking these artists from each region. And if you're interested, you know, you got to get people to vote. But if you win, you know, you go to the next. It's more bread. They already pay you. Just go in. It's like sponsored by Jack Daniels. So if you're an artist, you know, we'll pay you X amount. You come in, and then we're gonna let the fans vote to see who wins. And you work with this big artist. I'm not knowing what kind of artist it is. I'm just like, hell yeah, put me, like, come on, let's do it. Like, I believe in my fans. You know what I mean? Like, so I know that there was a voting process, and then they called me like a day before the winner was announced, and they were like, "Yeah, like, you know, you won." And I ain't gonna lie though, I was kind of nervous because like there was like girls on there, and there was women. You know, women can get somebody to go click some shit faster than a man can, and they were like, bro, 100,000 followers. You know what I mean? Way more than me. They had a bigger following than me, but we ended up winning. You know what I mean? By the grace of God, and then we shot the video. You know, we shot the behind the scenes with Baron. We shot the full video right here at my homie's crib right here in South Houston, and well, down the street in South Houston. But man, Delgado, man, he cool as a motherfucker, bro. Yeah, when I found out he was a legend, I was like, bro, and like my boy was tripping, like, bro, that, you know who that is? And he's like a Colombian cat. And he was like, dog, like, man, that fool's a legend, like from Puerto Rico. Like, you need to. And so I did my homework, and I was like, oh shit, man, if you met him, you wouldn't even thought, bro. Like, that's why I be laughing at a lot of these rappers who be acting like, I don't know who, like Jay-Z. Like, they be thinking they Jay-Z. Like, bro, this is a you know what I mean? This dude's a fucking going crazy, and he was cool, bro. Cool as they come. That's why I always like I aim to be like that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he came up to the hood. He came to the neighborhood, and he shook. We had like 40 people outside. He got out the car. We're about to shoot a scene, and he daps up everybody individually. What's up? My name's Alligator. What's up? What's up? It's like, he ain't got to do that. You know what I mean? He talked to my pop for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So that I talked to my pop after, and he was like, you know, you just make sure you're the same way. You know, like when you get to that level. And I was like, yeah, for sure. So yeah, bro, I still rewrite each other to this day. Me and Delgado, like, we got a relationship. Like, that's the homie. You know what I mean?
No, that's inspiring, especially to be able to see an artist that has more than made it.
For real.
And they're still like, this is a, you know, walking around introducing themselves like they're a brand new artist. Like, yo, I'm dead like ghetto. Like, it's like,
yeah, everybody was like, we know who the fuck you are. All the homies was like, bro, but they was saying like, man, Doeman's the first one to bring a superstar to the hood. You know what I mean? So that shit meant a lot to the neighborhood, and man, it meant a lot to me, man. It was inspiring, bro. That's why, you know, when we get in the studio or whatever, but you know, I got to be a monster, but when you know, you got to be humble. We got to be people. And he taught me a lot, man, just in that short time that we got to spend with each other. And he writes me a lot. I got a voice memo from him that I listen to every day. He's like, one more year, keep going. He's like, you got one more year of hard grinding. He's like, you're going to look up, your life's going to be different, you know? So I listen to that shit down there every day.
That's positive as hell. It's like, one thing about you is you always are down to collaborate. Can you speak about your collaborative process and what makes you so open to work with other artists?
I just like trying different shit, man, and like that shit pushes you as an artist. Like I'm not fluent in Spanish, you know what I mean? The way I did that record, bro, I had my homie, shout out my boy FIFA from LA. I'm telling him what I want to say. He's helping me word it together. I thought I was gonna get in there and knock out the verse, you know what I mean? But just pushing your limits, bro. That verse took me like 3-4 hours, bro. Rap verse takes me 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, it was frustrating. I'm sitting with the mic right here, and he's like, this is how you say it. If you say it wrong, they're going to be on your head. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, damn. But I just like pushing myself, bro. Like, shout out Khan, man. Like, Khan, another, like, my boy, bro. That's my bro. Like, when I tell you we all in the room, and it's you know, it's a competition at the end of the day. And they playing the beat, bro. And when I tell you this man don't write, like you hear him, like he got on the mic, like he'll do 8 bars, won't stop for a little bit, do 8 more. You're like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I mean? 5 minutes, like, and I'm looking at him like, he told me too. He's like, bro, you know, he gave me a lot of games. Like, you know, you can't be, your opportunity come, you got to be ready. You know, you can't be writing on your phone, or I'm so used to Houston. Lax, bro. Houston's slow, bro. The artist is slow. Like, everybody takes their time. Like, nobody's rushing it. And like when I went out, I like being with the Sharks, bro. You know what I mean? Because that shit makes me better. You got to be with people better than you. You know what I mean? And everything, because it'll elevate you. You know.
And you know what? It's a lot of artists that we've spoken to that are from Houston that talk about that kind of shock. Or that change where they're like, oh, like when you go to another city and things are moving, like the infrastructure is there, all this stuff. There's not that same, okay, like hurry up and wait feeling. It's like, nah, everybody's moving, everybody's going.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, what was that like stepping into that realm? And like,
damn, hurry up and wait. That's like a crazy way you put it. Hurry up and wait. Like, you do it and it's like, all right, fuck it, let's just let it sit right here.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, I just saw there was an industry. Like, I mean, I remember going to LA. Shout out my boy Cypress Moreno. He's like one of the man, and he'll tell me, like, yo, this artist right here, he's like, he hard, like he finna pop. And you know, in Houston, you be like, oh, he finna pop. And then 4 years later, it's like, oh, he's doing good. You know what I mean? Like over there, it's like 4 months. I come back, this dude on. But it's that industry and the way they set up, boom. Not just the industry, but dog, they got one person that's might be a gatekeeper. Nobody, I don't know. To me, Houston just feels like this, or they got this crowd over. And LA is like, yo, you hot, and you got the fan, boom. Yeah, you're in a different place. I've seen it happen with multiple artists out there, bro. I've seen it happen with a young cat they got, a cat named Peso, a cat named Money Sign Sway, man. Bravo the Bag Chaser. I seen all, and these all Latino cats, man. They went up, you know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure they got their own problems in LA, just like New York. But I feel like Houston is just, we don't have no industry here. You know what I mean? We don't have like a real pipeline. We don't have a pipeline like that. Okay, you go here, 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 and then you out of here. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
But then in the reality of it, bro, the industry is different. The game is different.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you need a budget nowadays. You know, back then you could probably, and if you and to think about it, you could be a sensation on the internet. Like Mike Dimes, the homie. I don't know if y'all heard of Mike Dimes yet. If y'all got hit to him, bro, but from San Antonio, based out of San Antonio, bro, crazy. He just did the Earth Gang tour. Like I did a tour with him after South by. He just did the Earth Gang tour, just did the Denzel Curry tour. Like these are the type of people that I'm looking at. Like, yo, look how this kid's moving. And like, because the people think, oh, just because they're younger than you can't learn from them. Man, you gotta learn from everybody. Like I'm like, yo, the way this kid's moving is impressive. And I fuck with him, and I told him that. I was like, bro, like he ain't worried about like who's hot in Houston or who's the number one. Nah, he's like, bro, I'm out here with Denzel Curry and Earth Gang. I'm not. I don't give a fuck, But straight up.
And I mean, do you feel like even though there is that thing about the cities and like you said, that in terms of having the industry and having that pipeline, which, that anybody that's given an honest critique of Houston is going to be like, yeah, you're right. We don't have that industry. We don't have that pipeline. But do you feel like a lot of that is changing because of the internet? Like Beat King travels all the time, but it's like there is something to be said about having kids on TikTok discover your music and then discover you have a decade worth of music to offer. And they can put that up. Yeah.
Man, I was so hard-headed with TikTok. Like you could ask B. I was like, man, I ain't getting on that shit. Like I was so just because I didn't understand it. So like being an old head, really, right? You know what I mean? Like, hell no, that's what kid like. But really, in a sense, I'm like, man, like he's like, they're like, you're cutting off. I heard him on a phone call, but I forgot his name, but he's a big wig, and he's just like, man, I'm giving out $1 million deals off TikTok. I'm giving out, and I'm like, damn, like I told my brother Mike C, I'm like, man, like the game changes, and you got to change with it, So yeah, nah, for sure. Like I think B King is a genius. Like I don't care, like I don't give a fuck what nobody say. B King is a genius, bro. Like he's an entertainer. He ain't a fuck. You know what I mean? Oh, nobody give a fuck about all that, man. Everybody cares about what's in the bank account. You know what I mean? What type of statements you got. So I think B King's a genius. I think TikTok is a great platform for artists now. At first I thought it was like a little kid thing. Now it's like really a platform where people are really taking off on that shit. So I'm definitely gonna have to utilize that, a little more.
Hell yeah, learn from B King. He's like DJ Khaled, man. He's like a DJ Khaled with talent. Yeah, so it's like
you said with talent, dog.
He definitely got DJ Khaled's talentless, but anyway, we'll keep
that man knows how to get,
not too much of my boy Khaled, man. He knows how to get a dollar.
He knows how to market.
I'm about to say, yeah, Khaled, I'm sorry.
There's something about no, there's a lot to be said about marketing. Like when you know how to market, and
look at Kim Kardashian.
I mean, some people are like, yeah, like
she
I'm like,
knows how to market.
Market is where it's at.
Yeah, they'd be like, what does she do? She can market anything. She's marketing a divorce. My God.
Yeah. That's really what it comes down to. Like, if we can figure out a way to sell this, that's what it is. And sometimes you see people where they're like, oh, they ain't got the talent that this other person got, but I'm like, yeah, but they know how to market. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro, marketing is everything. Marketing and promotion. You could do that. You ain't gotta have no fucking talent. You gotta have a minimal amount of talent in this day and age. So like that's one thing I understood too. I remember a long time ago, I talked to y'all know who Shay Serrano is, right?
Yeah.
So Shay Serrano, man, is crazy. He used to teach at my middle school. And one day, well, he never taught me though. You know, he always taught like a grade under me or like something like that. But he always, you know, I played sports and everything, so he always knew me. Crazy thing about him, hey, Chase Veronica hoop, bro. He's small in the motherfucker, but that fool could hoop for real, for real. He could fucking hoop, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. And I remember I seen him at Warehouse Live. I handed him a CD. I was like 17, probably, and he was like, "Man, I hope this shit don't suck." I remember he told me that, but I brought that up because I had a meeting with him after just talking to him, and I was like, "Man, I was talking, figure out whatever group it was." I was like, "Man, they suck. You know, they suck." I'm thinking in my mind, he's like, "They don't suck. They good at something. If a million people buying that shit, they're good at something," and that comes down to marketing, promotion, image. Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Music is like some of the last shit now, bro. What people are really concerned with. You know, yeah, it's cool for the feeling, but everything else is really masking the music. You know.
I mean, that is true to an extent. You know what I'm saying? You can make it last for a while. Like, I mean, Soldier Boy, my God, he had a record and he kept he's kept the lights on for this minute since 2007 when niggas was
Soldier
like,
Boy is a fucking icon.
He's an icon. I never.
Soldier Boy is an icon.
That nigga
I
kept
can't
the lights
go arcade.
And the flip side of that too is I'm like some of your favorite rappers, we know them because they got connected with a good marketer. Like I'm telling, we would have never heard Biggie were it not for Diddy. Like you hear the arguments they were having, and he's like, "Yo, I think you should rap over Juicy," and they was like, "Nah, fuck that." And he's like, "No, I really think this is your song." And it's like you hear Biggie where he says early things like, "I just wanted to rap for like a straight hour." And then just put it out. Like no hooks, no nothing, no whatever. You hear about what Diddy did with the locks. And it's like you see these people where it's like you are ultimately talented, but somebody that knows how to market had to come in and be like, "Hey man, look, we gotta break this up."
You ain't lying, bro. One thing I saw, bro, the other day, man, it was a video and it said purposelessness and indirection are the enemy of mankind. You know what I mean? That same thing with music. And that's one thing that I everybody needs help. You can't do everything by yourself. You know what I mean? I can come in and rap a million miles an hour for 100 minutes, whatever it is. But like I just linked up with a dude named Wolf the Michaels. I don't know if y'all are hip to him, but man, this dude worked with Big Crit. Man, he's a producer, artist, but work with Crit, Cole, like man, he's done it. He's been around. He did the the whole Maxo 187 project.
Oh snap!
Maxo, you know, oh yeah, bro, he's a fucking legend, bro. He's our story is long, you know, that'll be told on our documentary. But I brought him in for my not the Barrio God, but like my album where I'm gonna have a budget, I'm gonna have marketing, I'm gonna have these things that I know I need, these tools. I brought him in for direction. You know what I mean? For like, yo, bro, I need a Dr. Dre, the Kendrick, I need a Dr. Dre to 50. You know, I need this direction versus just I can go on there and then maybe, you know, I'm trying to be like I can't miss. You know what I mean? I can't miss.
And yeah, so with that, like it's like I felt like Brown Soul had a definitive direction. I like that even what you're talking about where you're like, yo, this is not just for Hispanic people, but I grew up on Black music. That intro, and I felt like not only did it have this is brown people music and Black people music, but it was also this mix of soul music connecting with Houston music and watching that where it's like, dog, I like soul samples, I like screw chops, I like Hispanic music, I like Black, I like this Black 70s, 80s soul music. Like that felt like the direction of that album. What were you thinking as you were going to that album? And what are your thoughts as you're going into these other projects? Like your overall themes?
Man, I like honestly, bro, like I got one like for Brown Soul, I just really went into it like going back to Con, like I asked him one time, like, man, what you do when you get writer's block? He's like, man, just go listen to these albums. Like, and remember, you can rap about your own life. And that's what I feel like a lot of artists don't do. They rap about, but that's another topic. But man, I just wanted to go in and like dig deep. And my grandpa was actually going through it at the time. My grandpa had to get his legs amputated, so like he was doing bad. And my grandma, you know, we didn't know we were gonna, you know, lose him. So I was jamming oldies. I always jam oldies, honestly, bro. But I was jamming it tough, you know, and I had a whole playlist, you know, I was listening to it and I remember I was flying back and I was like, man, like I want to, and I hit up Big Tex Johnny because I know San Antonio, they're rich and like, you know, Chicano soul type shit, you know. And man, his beat, you know, his beats are crazy. And so from that, I just wanted to like display that to the world. And I wanted to have like a subgenre of lot that's just like this ain't rap, this ain't hip hop, this is brown soul, you know what I mean? In the hip hop form. But these other ones, I got this record, I got this one, man, I don't know when it's gonna come out, but like the Barrio God, the aim of that, man, is just like with the rollout, what I want to do is I want to highlight other strong people, you know what I mean? Our real live stories of like people in the state. Like I don't know if y'all heard of Joe Capos Torres, you know what I mean, who got killed by the cops. Like he was a Mexican cat back in the day. I forgot these two sisters' name. Their brother got wrongfully shot. Like just little things of people that are standing up, you know. But then I got the Now album, and that one's just about being present. You know what I mean? Really reflecting and being where your feet are, you know. And I got a lot. Dende is actually, you know who Dende is? Y'all fuck with Dende?
Oh, of course. Of course.
Man, crazy talent, bro. I tell him every time I see him, bro. I'm like, he's like the title record, you know what I mean? The Now album. But yeah, bro, everything just gotta have direction and intention now. You know, I can't just really, I'm trying not to put out shit just to put it out, or you know what I mean? Like fill voids. I ain't trying to do no fillers. I want like, oh, that was a moment. You know what I mean? That was a moment. That was a moment, you know. Trying to create moments in people's lives, you know.
I was gonna say too, and I know, and people will notice from the interview, like you speak highly of the people that are around you. Like you'll definitely say their name. We were with who's the producer that works with Dante Higgins?
Mark Bird.
Oh, Mark Bird.
Okay, Mark Bird was like, "Hey man, if you talk to Doeman and if you listen to his music," he goes, "Listen to the Doeman, I really feel like I'm in his neighborhood. Like I feel like I could go to his neighborhood and I could specifically talk to people like, oh, you're such and such, you do that, and so I'm not gonna lie, like when I listened to it again, like when I was like, let me go back and listen to Brown, so I'm like, dog, he really is like." That's such and such. He fell over here. He do this dude on the store, this, that. So yeah, what is that like? I mean, one, your neighborhood, like they gotta be like, yo, you dropping my name on the song. This is fantastic. Like, what is that like to be bigging up your neighborhood and watching that grow as your star grows?
Oh man, well, first off, shout out Mark Bird, man. Iconic, crazy talented, bro. Mark Bird, we got some shit. Man, it just feels like, you know, it's just my duty, really. It don't feel like, you know, it's an honor for sure, but it feels like my duty more because like that's not just all my story. You understand? There's stories that, you know, my homie down the street, they mom, my dad's stories, my grandpa's, you know, my cousins, these people that I feel like have no voice and haven't been spoken for. So I feel like that's my job, you know, and to impact them in a way that they're like, damn, look at what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like I got little cousins who really be on the block, you know, really out there, you know, and when I pull up on them, they're like, nigga, oh man, what up, though? Like, what you know what I mean? Like you made it, you know, in their mind. To me, I'm like, nah, I ain't made it yet, you know, but in their mind, it's like, yo, so to me, it's just is like positive impact. And to speak on these people is just a privilege. And I asked them, if you ever hear a story in my record and it's a true story, 9 out of 10, I'm not telling no lies, you know, I'll go ask the people, you know, hey, yo, is it cool if I, and they're like, yeah, you know, usually time is a green light because they want their story told. But people don't get to say that, you know, it's like therapy, you know, black and brown men, we don't really do that, you know, and we don't really talk. We don't really speak how we feel, what we've been through. And same thing with, you know, the women, you know what I mean? They're getting to it. They're more, you know, aware than us, but now, honestly, it's a privilege, bro, and I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for the people around me, my family, you know what I mean, my homies, my shit, and everybody, you know, my mama for sure, my pops, you know, these people that they embedded in me, my brother, my sister. Without them, like Mike C, I wouldn't be who I am. So it's only right that I get to speak these stories for them, you know.
And the other thing too about the storytelling is you've never really shied away from any. The first time we talked, it was right after you were releasing that video about Donald Trump.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and that was one of the things where it's like you've never been one to shy away from politics, particularly the politics that affect the people that look like you. Like it's like, look, we can talk about everything, but this affects my people. Like I'm talking to people that have to go home. I'm talking to people that have to go back. You know, they getting kicked out of the country. So talk about like the importance of, I mean, even just now you were saying, oh, this was the gentleman that was shot. I'm trying to talk about that history. Why is
Mhm.
that aspect so important to get across in your music?
I think it's just man, just showing the world who we are. You know, I think that's my ultimate goal. You know, not to be, you know, rich and famous and all that. That's cool. But my ultimate goal is to impact and show the world who we are. And that's why it's important to speak up, to stand up and not just get ran over. You know what I mean? Or be quiet. Cause I just feel like my people personally have been quiet for too long. You know what I mean? We faced a lot of fucked up shit as well, you know, as my black and brown my black brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Um and I just feel like we just, you know, we never spoke up. And I really applaud the African American community on how, you know, they fuck that. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna stand up and fight, and that's what I'm trying to influence for my people. You know, to
Yeah.
like not just fight, but to stand up and let your voice be heard. You know what I mean? And don't be scared because we're so like, nah, just stand in line, do what we're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? And like that's that's not the way we're gonna ever, you know, elevate. But I think it's just important that we had a voice, you know, and whether it be me or somebody else, as long as they have the right intention with it. Because I think a lot of people they can, you know, they could play that role, but their intention is wrong. You know, it's ill, and they just in it for gain, personal gain. They're not in it for everybody else. You know, I'm a man of the people. I'm not, you know, I'm not above them. I'm not, you know, not below them. I'm a man of them. You know.
Yeah. Now the other thing too is, and again, people should go back and look at that first interview. We talk about the car accident you had as a child, all that stuff. But I bring that up, so I was like, are you getting back into boxing? I saw you post some videos where you were like, going to start trying it out. And a number of rappers started to do it again, but I'm like, no, he actually boxes. Like he's trained to box it. So are you starting to get back into it just for working out?
Man, just training, yeah, just working out, bro. My bro still fights and shit. So man, I like training, bro. I like going to shout out my coach, Coach Aaron. We'll go over there, train for a little bit, but I'm not competing. You feel me? Like my brother be trying to get me to compete. My brother be like, just go pro once. I'm like, hell nah. Cause something happened to me, I go viral. My rap career gone. I'm like, God damn. But I ain't taking that chance. You got me fucked up. Yeah, but no, I'm just doing it, bro. I do it for work. I do just to, you know, sharpen myself up, keep myself, you know, just to protect my family, you know, my loved ones and shit like that if I have to. But nah, not competing though. But I got homies that are, you know, shout out my boy, my brother, Jesus Gonzalez, Oceanic Foster, WBC #1. He's in line to fight Shakur if that fight happens. But yeah, he a monster. He just ain't got that. It's a clout thing too, just like rap, you know. But
yeah, you gotta have that certain popularity when it comes to boxing. That's what they look at.
It's real politics. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
real
it's
politics.
super political.
Yeah,
that's people don't tell you. You could win every fight, and they'll be like, "Nah, he might beat me though." And it's like,
nah,
what?
bro, what?
That's it. That's literally what happens.
Nah, they call my boy the boogeyman. He's from Orange, Texas. This is my boy though, bro. He's a boogeyman because nobody wants to fight him, bro. He's #1 ranked. Like him and Shakur spar. You know, we all in the amateurs. If you was really like they was like Oceanic was. In the nationals every time you rank #1, y'all gonna see each other. So y'all grow up. He called out Tank on the I think it was the Breakfast Club, or no, Tank. They asked him about the Breakfast Club. They were like, ask Tank, like, you know, who's Oceanic Foster? That's like asking a rapper from over here, like, who's Doeman? And they're like, oh, I don't know. And Oceanic was like, bro, you got me fucked up. Like, come on, bro. That's where all these bro, they got me fucked up too. But yeah, straight up, they don't know. They better not fucking ask somebody.
Yeah.
I ain't fucking lying. They got me fucked up.
Man, hopefully that fight gets to happen.
Oh, for sure.
You know, hopefully that fight gets to happen because people do not understand how political boxing really is.
Yeah,
like, boxing. You know, I think people have the mindset that it's like, well, it's still based on the skill. So it's not like rapping is very subjective. So it's like somebody might be like, oh, well, that's my favorite rapper. I don't care what y'all say. And I'll be like, all right, we got to agree with you because that's your dude. But with boxing, people think, oh, well, you knock people out, you have to be #1. I was like, nah, man, there are some dudes that don't make it to a certain level because they knock people out so much.
Yeah, nah, for sure, bro. It's the same thing. They're gonna stop you, block you, bro. Whatever. If they got the child who, bro, it's money, man. Money talks, bullshit walk a mile. Who's buying? Like the thing with Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Like Errol Spence is a pay-per-view star. Terrence Crawford, not so much. But that don't say that Errol Spence is better. They just say he got a bigger draw.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with that fight. You know what I mean? That's why I think it's gonna happen. But who knows? Who's to know? Who? I like both of them as fighters. You know what I mean? But I know it's business. What makes money? You know what I mean? Okay, well, this makes money, right? Okay, well, then we're gonna ride with Errol Spence. Whatever we got to do, we're gonna give Errol Spence the ring he wants. What kind of gloves do you want? You know what I mean? All these things that I don't know the ins and outs, but I know enough to be like, it's political, bro. And it's like
super
money
political.
Talk.
Look at the Paul
Money
brothers.
Talk.
The Paul brothers are the biggest draw in boxing. I know, and I hate it. I hate it. They are the biggest draw in boxing in years.
Get your money, though. My thing is like, get your money. If people are dumb enough to buy it, sell the motherfucker.
And that's the thing. That's my biggest thing, because when people ask me like, "Oh, how you feel about it?" I'm like, "That I would never pay to watch them do anything." But if a million other, and the thing about it too is, I said, "Dog, the million people that want to pay to watch them are the people that don't really watch boxing. They're gonna be like, I'll watch that fight," but they're like, "Oh, okay, you gonna come here for the next one?" They're like, nah, probably not. I don't know none of these other people.
Yeah, bro. I think the only thing that good that came from that is that they I think like Jake Paul had put some bread inside of boxers, and I think that they gave a spark to boxing where they brought like a light back, because right now boxing is stacked. You got Teofimo Shakur, you got Devontae, you got all these amazing fighters, you got Canelo, all these dudes, fucking the twins from the H, the Charlo twins, you got Benavidez. Like boxing is exciting, you know what I mean? Boxing is exciting again, where people are talking shit. It's like the best fights are starting to happen.
It's so good now, because UFC was killing boxing, and now I'm like, UFC, I don't care, but I'd rather see it.
It's just bad. I feel bad for them UFC fighters, bro. The way they get paid is horrendous. Like they sacrifice, and I think boxers are too, because I know people who died in the ring. You know what I mean? But MMA, it's like it's a street fight, really. So you gonna pay me how much for what? Like, I gotta be fucked up.
Yeah, I gotta take off this amount of my life for like $25,000.
What? Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, exactly, bro.
Yeah. And I mean, boxing, any level of fighting too, you got to be careful, because it's like it's coming from a lot of times our populations, like people that can't afford a lot of stuff. They trying to fight their way up and out. It's not necessarily a rich person thing, and they be having people sign contracts the same way they be signing rappers. Yeah, same way. They be like, "Hey, sign this real quick. We'll go ahead and get taken care of this." You see them old stories. They was paying Mike Tyson the same way they was paying some of these rappers. Like, here, we just put a car in front of your house. Yeah. And he's like, all right, cool.
Just make a bank off of my
Yeah, I never seen that. There's that thing. Think about it. I think you're just a stable. We all like, that's why I look at it. Like, we all got to fight each other, but it's all at the same level. You know what I mean? Like, we're just workers, employees at the end of the day. Who owns this motherfucker? That's why I fuck with Floyd so much, bro. He own his shit, man. Fuck that. Fuck y'all. Like, I'm gonna grab me my shit. You know what I mean? Y'all got me. And he put up the points to prove it. That's why people don't understand him, or they can hate on him. Bro, Floyd's a fucking genius. Floyd's like, man, I ain't getting pimped. Y'all ain't gonna pimp me. You know what I mean? So that's how it goes, bro. That's how it goes. It's a fucked up game, bro. It's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't even get into that, like, deep amount of it, but a deep part of it, because
Floyd is also one of those. I like a lot of the newer athletes that is like, look, I've looked at the legends. I've seen the life that the legends live now that they retired. Like, they hurt, they ain't got no money. And this is not just boxing. This is like football, basketball, like all this stuff where it's like you dedicated your life to something. Now you don't have no money. You don't have no family. You don't have your health. So it's like sometimes, like when these big time athletes are like, nah, I'm not doing that. Sorry. So this don't make me no money. Like, this doesn't make sense for me in the long run. I'm thinking about my life overall. So that's
which is more important than anything.
Yeah, because people criticize Floyd like, he should get out here and be knocking people. He's like, I play a defensive game. I get my points. I win the thing. I'm not getting knocked in the head for your entertainment.
Exactly.
Pretty boy Floyd.
And people still buying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Floyd's he's a winner. He's a champion. He's a champion in all aspects.
Best defensive fighter, really best fighter pound for pound, which is funny. I remember when he was doing all the in his prime, when people was like, his fights are boring. I was like, that's the smartest fighter I've seen. Not everybody's gonna be Mike Tyson. That's what
the
people
art
go.
of boxing, and they gotta understand. Mike Tyson was not a boxer or a fighter. Mike Tyson was a fucking monster.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what people don't understand.
It's a
Mike
once
Tyson
in a
is
lifetime talent.
yeah, you're not gonna get, you know what I mean? Like, you get people like to me, I think like Gervonta's similar to Mike Tyson. He's just a little monster. He don't give a fuck. But Tyson just his aura, his fucking, and the thing that people don't know about Tyson's fucking intelligent, bro. Like he's when it comes to the war, he's a fucking a genius. But Floyd is like, bro, the art of boxing is hit and not get hit. That's what boxing is. Boxing's not, that's a fight. That's brawling. Nah, we boxing, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So Floyd, come on, man. Like, nobody could, you can't take shit from Floyd, bro. The bank account says otherwise, you know what I mean?
You think you can get to the ring? Would you get into the ring with Floyd?
Like, for how much?
$1 million.
Fucking right. I got my ass whooped for free before. You think I got my ass whooped? Shit. Shit, I don't give a fuck.
I think that's the other thing about boxing, because it's like, I feel like anybody that does boxing, or I mean, now we got more MMA and just different style of fighting, because they've been in the rings and they've also like, they're humble about it. Like, it's like, dog, anybody can beat you up. Like, it can happen. Like, you are not an invincible person. Like, you train to protect yourself, but dog, the right time and the right moment, and you lay it on the mat.
Right here.
You lay it on the mat. And
bro, you get caught lacking, bro.
That's all I'm saying.
Bro, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's the thing, too. Most people don't know what that feels like. You know what I mean? You got to know what that feels like. You can't be in fear of that. I'm not saying I ain't scared of shit. If I get fucked up, man, I'm gonna bounce back. We're gonna fight again. That's just the way I'm made.
Exactly.
But I understand that. I understand the possibilities when I get into the ring. I understand, like, man, I'm not gonna go in the ring and go fuck with people like my brother or Oceanique or these people and feel like I'm finna tear my ass up. But at the same sense, I ain't scared of that. You know what I mean? I take that. I ain't tripping on that. Like my coach, that's what my coach Aaron Navarro. He's like, man, ain't the first, won't be the last, but I ain't running from nobody, you know. So that's just my mindset. But yeah, for sure, I think it's a different game. That's why there's a lot of respect in anything combative, because you know, like, oh shit. If you ever seen people in a real street fight where they really got to it, it's respect after. It's not like fuck you. It's like we went at it. You know, I mean, we learned something about each other. You know.
Oh yeah. One of our friends from high school got into MMA, but he said he got in heavy because he's like, I lost the bat. He goes, I came in there, a dude with my ass, and he goes, that's it. He goes, I ain't see him till like 3 years later, and I went up and thanked him because I was like, he's the reason why I kept going. Like, I was so cocky and I came in and he beat me, and I was in the middle of it. I was like, dog, I have no answers for this man whatsoever. And he goes, so I had to train up. And then he goes, in that training, I kind of lost all the ego. I lost all the anger. Like, I was like, oh, no, this is what it's about. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. You get to your, bro, I feel like anything combative, bro, you get to your true form of who you are. It's not like, oh, I walk in and I don't care about none of that tattoos, muscles, man, that shit don't matter, bro. You get in there, you find out who you are. Yeah. You know what I mean? When your back's against the wall, you start getting your ass tagged, peek, 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 you find out who the fuck you are, and fast. You know what I mean? And then you find out if you really made for that. And some people aren't, and some people are. You know, like me, that's one thing I take that L, man. I'm going in, I'm training, I'm bouncing back, and not to for my ego. I'm doing it for myself. You know what I mean? Because I know what my soul's worth. But everybody needs to know what the pain and the pain of losing it and defeat is, because it teaches you who you are. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. As the great Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. So
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Face. So well, I was gonna say, so where can? Oh wait, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say the same thing, bro.
Oh, okay, good. I was gonna say, where can we find everything Doeman so that fans can get in contact, fans can know what's going on with you, and fans can know about the new music and stuff coming out?
Man, Instagram, Twitter, DOEMAN XDYNA, YouTube, DOEMAN DYNA. Just search, man, anywhere, bro. iTunes, all across any platform. You can search the music. Stay up to date with me on the gram. All the shit that I'm dropping is going to be iconic, and I hope everybody can be a part of it.
All right. Also, in the middle of this interview for our viewers, he went from the office to the car, back to the office. We was trying to avoid Like his little, you say your little cousins is there?
My nieces and nephews.
Your niece and nephew.
Yeah.
So that was all. That's all that was. But also, talk to your niece and nephews, man. Get them to help you get on TikTok. I promise you, they know all about it.
Oh nah, I'm already knowing they know, bro. I got one. I'm already knowing. I'm already knowing. My goddaughter be on that motherfucker heavy.
That's all. That's really all it is. That's all. That's really all it is, man.
We really want to
man,
thank you for staying in. Yeah, I'm gonna thank you for coming out, staying in, or whatever. How we do it. It's always a pleasure. I mean, Doeman DYNA, you've been wonderful. We really do support your career. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at what is that? What festival are you doing?
It's the festival.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Yeah. So looking forward to
pull
that
up
too. We definitely are.
Y'all pull up. Oh yeah, it's love, man. I don't know what time I go on yet. I don't know what time I go on yet, but once I know, y'all, we're gonna blast it out and everything.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. It's always a pleasure to have you. Once again, I'm Avery, like a very nice guy. That is my brother, Jess Devon. We've had Doeman DYNA with us. Humbly yours.
Yo.
And my Humble Opinion podcast. H-Town, too sweet. H-Town, too sweet. Goodbye.